Hey, 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 everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back. We're live. We're in the studio. So I think it's a great day to be a real estate investor. I also want to turn all of you into property specialists. That's what you need to be working towards. Your goal needs to be to become a property specialist. So I hope we are all in sync today. So welcome, come on to the show. It is time, as Manny says, to rock and roll, right? It's good to have you guys on here. It's good to be here with you. Hey, if you're joining me, tell me where you're from. Tell me hi. Let's talk today. We got lots to talk about. I wanted to give some shout outs to people coming on. Bill, hello, Bill. Welcome. Hey, if you're brand new, let us know you're new. You know how we are over here. We like to welcome all the new people because they have found their place. They have found their home. Look, there's a lot of people out there that have written books and have technology, but there's very few that will put the amount of attention that we do here at REI Success Academy into you by doing all of our live shows to help support you and help you grow your business and to help you in any way we can through these shows. Remember, they're live, so you can ask questions. We encourage you to ask questions and tell us where you're coming in from. I always like to see who's coming in from the furthest. We have people from Australia and Canada. All over the place we have people. So come on board, say hi to us. Let us know you're out there, and we'll let you know that it's live. Because we'll give you a shout out. So that's important. Also, remember, today is what? Your real estate investing talk show. That is what we do every Tuesday at 1:30 Eastern time zone. It's our real estate investing talk show. We are in a 24-week challenge right now. What does that mean? Well, that means that for 24 weeks, we're covering a specific topic of the real estate business to help you build your business. We're on week 13 right now. So if you've missed the other 12 weeks, you just need to go over to the Facebook on the left-hand side, click on videos, and you'll get all of our videos, and you can go back and watch those. So also, if you're brand new to us and you're trying to figure out what all we do here, we are real estate education. We are real estate investors. I'm a real estate investor. My name is Zack Childress, and I'm your real estate coach because I'm in it every day. If you've watched any of my videos, or you might even be on our Thursday show. We do a Thursday show every other Thursday on our YouTube channel. And it is our In the Field with Zack, where I go out and look at properties and I bring you along with me so you can see what I look at and what you're needing to look for when you're looking at deals. That's on our YouTube channel, so you need to make sure you go check that out, REISuccessAcademy.com/YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to that channel, click the little notification button so that you can get notified when I'm in the field. So if you're joining us for the first time, there's all kinds of stuff. We're on our Tuesday show. That's our Thursday show. We also do a Wednesday show, which is our Dig Deeper show. That's where we dig into something that helps us become better, whether it's a book or an idea, a training, or really one of our topics that we've been covering last week and we're going to be covering tomorrow is credit repair on our Wednesday show. So we have lots of value for you here. Stay with us. Stay tuned. We're going to come right back and we're going to answer some questions and get this training started. I'm going to roll this short clip for you. Make sure you stay engaged. And make sure you come right back. We'll be right back with you.
Zack has recently written a brand new best-selling book called My First Deal Playbook, and he's actually giving away 1,000 copies for free. Now, if you're interested in becoming financially free through real estate or adding real estate to your investment portfolio, I urge you to grab a copy of this book right now. He's covering the full cost of the book. All you need to do is pick up a small shipping fee, and he'll send it right out to you. Once these copies are gone, the retail price will be $19.95, so make sure you claim your copy now before they're all gone. I hope you enjoy the book and get a lot of value out of it. Goodbye for now.
There you go, guys. If you don't have it, you better get it. It's the book. You see it on the wall. You see it on the table. My First Deal Playbook. I think it's the most important thing you can do is get your first deal done. You can go to Amazon and get it, just like you saw there. It's powerful. It's powerful. It's powerful. It's powerful. I don't care if you've been doing it for a long time or you're just starting out. You need to get this book. It flies off our shelves here. It's amazing the feedback we get from it, the ratings, the stars, the comments, the emails, the videos, just from people reading our book. So you can get that book on Amazon, or you can go to myfirstdealplaybook.com, okay? So Jill, we got a lot of people coming on. Tell us who's on here. Tell us who's with us. Hey, if you haven't given us a shout out yet, do that. Let us know you're here. We'd like to say hi to you.
Manny is here. He says, we're getting ready. Let's rock and roll.
That's right, Manny.
Bill Whitaker is here.
Mr. Bill, are you a first-timer, Bill?
He says hello. David Patterson says, hey, Zach, Pennsylvania here.
Good to have you back, David.
Angel from New York is here.
Yeah, my New Yorker.
Jim Rothweiler, he's back
Hey,
with
Jim.
us. Christy Tomlinson, she's from New York.
Christy, we got another New Yorker on here. We got Angel and Christy on here. Hey, Christy, good to have you back on here. I appreciate all the comments that you give us on our post. Love to have you. Thank you.
Diamond Star, she says, hi, Zach, Birmingham, Alabama here.
Hello, Birmingham in the house.
Bill, he's actually from L.A.
Lower Alabama?
Robert, he says, hey, Zach, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Gettysburg, up in PA.
We have Roderick from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hot Atlanta.
We have Laura from Missouri, brand new, no clue what to do.
Laura, you've hit the jackpot then. No clue what to do, just says that you're open to understanding direction, guidance, and putting first things first, right? If you don't have my book, Laura, start there. I promise you, you will not be let down.
Michelle, he says, good morning, Zach and Jill, California.
Awesome.
Mona, she says, hello, Zach, from Albuquerque.
Awesome.
Sammy from Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, we got a partner out there. Andrew Williams is out of Phoenix, Arizona.
Gail from Hickory, North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Steve is back with us.
Good to have you back, Steve. I like how he says that. He says, hey, Zach and Jill and the tribe.
Right.
We are a tribe, aren't we?
Toby is back with us.
Awesome, Toby.
Debbie, she says, call in the house.
Good job. Callie in the house.
Oh, Callie. Apparently I need my glasses. Sorry. Bill says, first timer, checking things out.
Love it, Bill.
Christy says, thanks for all you do.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, Scott Sweet, he was at our last 2-day immersion.
Yes.
Oh, he says, Kelly, the queen of credit report tomorrow.
That's right. It's repair. Kelly is the queen of credit repair. And just to give you a little bit of a glimpse, so I'm keeping up with who shared the video last Wednesday and who's going to be sharing that video tomorrow that we're doing, are going to get a copy of her new ebook, and it's called The Credit Repair Code, Credit Decoded. That is her little ebook that I'm going to give out to you guys tomorrow. So you want to be here for that, okay? It's amazing. All right, well, good stuff, guys. I'm glad you're all on here. It's powerful to have you here. It's powerful to be here with you. Let me see. Let me find my little book here. We are moving into week 13, finding buyers, and there's all kinds of different buyers, right? And how do we clarify that? What do we need buyers for? And where do you find buyers? And how do you work with buyers? And what is a buyer, right? So if you're brand new, those might be questions you're asking yourself. If you're seasoned, you might be just trying to find that little nugget, that one little thing that would help you find more buyers for the type of deals that you have. And so that's ultimately what today is about. It's about helping you identify that you've been going through 12 weeks of work with me, from marketing to markets to, negotiating to contracting to researching to making offers. And now if you're following along, you might even be in a position where you're working a deal. And now what do I do? What kind of buyer am I looking for? Where are those buyers? We're going to talk about that. That's our whole discussion today, is what happens when either A, we get that property under contract for wholesaling, B, we get that property under contract for some kind of seller financing structure, and we need a specific type of buyer, or we need a rental buyer, or we need a first-time home buyer. What does that look like, and how do you get better at putting those buyers in your pipeline? And where do you find them at, right? Where do you find them at? And so that's the topic of the day. So do me a favor. Listen, it's our real estate investing talk show today. So I always like to start off with answering questions from you guys. If you have any real estate questions, you've been burning at the bits at home, trying to figure out something, this is the time to get those questions in before we dig into our training. So I encourage you, if you have questions, put them in. It's up to you. Remember, we're always looking for active participation. That's how you learn the best. Active participation. So some of you have seen her already, but let me formally introduce her to you that are new on here, the lovely Jill. Everybody say hi to Jill. Jill, say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Jill is a real estate rock star, and some of you know her. You've spoken to her. She's on our real estate investing talk show every Tuesday with us. She tries to keep up with all the comments and the questions that you guys ask so that I can focus on answering them and she can focus on reading them.
Well, only when I have my glasses, though. Apparently I can't read without my glasses.
So that's the positive note. We got so much stuff going on over here for you guys. I mean, it's amazing the things we're working on for you, from our live events. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. We have a live event in Tampa. You've seen the banner across the screen. We also have another live event coming up in Dallas. But one that I am most excited about, because we've never done it before, and I'm going to start doing it once a year. And it's December, and it's called our Wealth and Freedom Summit. This is going to blow your minds, guys, when we start bringing this more to the forefront. It is literally an event to change the direction you're going to go in 2019. Listen, our 3-day events is all about how do we flip deals, whether it be contracts or deals, to make money. The summit is how we take it to the next level. How do we work with the money? How do we understand self-directed IRAs? How do we get tax-deferred money? How do we build wealth? How do we know how to build rental properties and cash flow and tax advantages and credit repair? It's a whole nother level. It is like the 3-day event is where you need to come to get the training and get your business going. The summit is where you want to come and rub elbows with me and all my partners. I don't want to spill the beans, guys, but you want to be ready for this. This thing is coming up in December. I encourage you to get to the 3-day event, get yourself rocking and rolling, and then come to the summit to learn how to go to that next level. I'm bringing my marketing partner in to the summit, and this guy can produce 2,000 to 3,000 leads a month. Listen, I had him on one of our coaching mastermind cruises, and he spent an hour and a half teaching some strategies to our coaching students that was mind-blowing.
Yes.
Mind-blowing on what and how to get these leads for free. I mean, it was literally free to get these leads. Now, we had to pay to get them to nudge to sell us a deal. But the information, and it was mind-blowing what this guy knows. And one of the reasons I've been in business with him for 6 years, he's a marketing genius. So I am excited about this summit coming up at the end of the year. So if you're watching this and you've been to one of my 3-day events, well, you can share your story in the feed. You can tell people what they're missing or why they should go. Listen, don't listen to me. Listen to the people that are here. But the other reason I want to say this is that if you've been to my 3-day event, you do not want to miss the summit at the end of the year. You do not. I'm telling you guys, I'd love to see you again. I really would. But I would love to see you on Sunday at the end of the summit, and when you're like, game changer, right? So.
Yes.
All right, what questions do we got for me?
Diamond Star, she says, I'm currently working through your 30-day quick cash system, and I'm
Awesome.
wondering, do you have any leads on a buyer's list that are not $1,000?
What? Do I have what?
Any leads on buyer's lists?
Do I have any leads?
So, like, where can she find a list of buyers that isn't going to cost her $1,000?
Oh, I'm going to talk about those today. Yeah, no, that's a great question. Their question really is how do I find buyers without paying for them? Well, there are free ways, and I'm going to share with some of those for you today because I get it. Not everybody has the ability to get going and buy fancy softwares or spend the type of money that you need to spend to build a buyer's list. So I'm going to share with some free ways, and you should implement them.
Yes.
You should implement them.
Everybody should implement everything that Zack is saying on these shows. If you have not, I don't know what you're doing.
Listen, it's amazing, right?
Yes.
All right, let's take this last question and I'm going to dig in.
All right, so Debbie says, I have a buyer who has bad credit but can afford $1,000 per month on a lease to own. I just flipped the home they were interested in. I'm looking for a property for them. How would I structure the deal? I will need to finance the property I find for them. What do I do?
Oh, great question, Debbie. So really you don't need to do any of that bottom stuff. So I would push you in the direction, well, what state are you in? That's the first question I need to ask. Do we know where Debbie's from?
This is actually Mike Barber. I guess he's on his wife's account maybe. But he is, I want to say he is in California. He's got properties and the property that he's trying to do this with would be the one in Tennessee.
Oh, great. Tennessee is a perfect state to do it in. California is too. So here, Bill, I'm going to get to your question next. I got all kinds of stuff, okay? So Debbie, the deal is this: it's not Debbie, it's who?
It's Mike.
Mike, the deal is this: if you're in Tennessee or California with the deal, either way is fine, okay? And here's why: because lease options are recognized in those states, and so with a lease option, you're not financing anything, okay? You're not having to get financing. Nothing. You're basically creating what's called a sandwich lease option, or better known in the commercial world as a master lease agreement. Okay, so in the commercial world, we're very familiar with master leases. Master lease says, I'm gonna take this whole strip mall. I'm gonna be your master lease, but I have the rights to sublease every little suite out inside of that strip mall. And so that's where the master lease got created. Now, when you move over to residential, it's the same process, but we just call it a sandwich lease option. So the lease is on the property, which is like the master lease of the property. They leave the financing in place. You're taking over the payments. You have a 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 year term with them, depending on the price point in which you have to acquire this property at. And here's something, Mike, I want you to go back to week 6. Week 6, we talked about this in detail. It's called the 4 profit centers in real estate. Week 6, we break down this lease option. But that's the angle you take, because now you've got the financing in place. You're taking over the payments. You then sublease or sandwich lease option it out to a tenant buyer that, like you said, can afford $1,000. So whatever payment you're taking over needs to be $800 or less so that you can create cash flow off that property. You don't have to finance anything. You control the financing on the property through a lease option. You could do it through a wrap mortgage. You could do it through a subject to. You could do it through a contract for deed, a land installment contract. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. It's just, some of the more creative ways to do it we had to do in states like Texas and other states that just don't let you do a lease option more than 6 months, even though they give you the ability to extend it for 2 additional 6 months, which means you can really have an 18-month lease option in Texas. It's still, sometimes it's not enough time to get the deal done efficiently. So, Mike, I would tell you, my friend, just to stick in there, right? Go for the lease option so that you can then sublease it out. All right. Well, Bill's question: 3-day event? I thought it was a 2-day event. Well, Bill, the way it operates is this: I have 2. They're called my 2-day immersions. But no, you can't just get to those classes. Those aren't open to the public, let's just say. Our 2-day immersions, which, by the way, are mind-blowing if you get to one of them, if you have the opportunity to be selected. We go through a selection process for that. It's our 2-day immersion, and that immersion is a game changer. We just had a lady send us a picture of her check that she got from leaving the 2-day immersion. Happy for that couple. But that is exclusive to our coaching and mentoring group, okay? You spend those 2 days with me and my team, and we get deals done. That's just how it works. The 3-day event is our open to the public. We require a seat deposit. I'll show you a video on that here in a little bit. But that's to secure your seat so that you can, we know you're coming. So that's our 3-day event, Bill. And that's all about flipping contracts and flipping real estate and what you have to go through to have that business model in place. So
Manny says, Zach, I'm thinking about switching into a FLP.LLC. Is it at best? What do you think?
So FLP is a family limited partnership, where an LLC is a limited liability corporation. The LLC is really your form of asset protection as long as you're running it correctly, right? You're having your meetings, you're recording everything, you're not commingling funds, you're running it like a professional business, you have your own bank account and all that. You should always run with an LLC in the business, okay? What the FLP is it's a family limited partnership, meaning that it is really based for your family goods and assets. So, I don't go put my car and my boat in the LLC. The LLC is from a business. My FLP owns my cars, owns my boat, owns my motorcycle, owns my jewelry, my perishable goods. I'm not perishable, but, well, anyways, I don't need to go into all that. But it has everything in there.
I want to see your jewelry. You never wear it.
I keep it in the safe. I don't have a safe. I don't know. No, I don't know. I keep it at the bank. So that's where the FLP comes in. Now, the good thing about an FLP is that if someone tries to sue you personally, so they break the veil of the LLC and they come at you personally, well, everything you own is in your FLP, even your personal residence. They can't sue that without paying up $10,000 to even have the ability to sue that FLP. It's a grandfathered in FLP clause. It's a beautiful thing. Bob Bloom is the one who set us up on it. But also the downside to it is you got to be careful what family members you put in that FLP because you're not protected from suits amongst each other. So, all right. I'm getting closer to my first deal. Way to go. I can do a deal with you using the Quebec 65%. This is the Mike property from Tennessee. So it's like a lease to own. That's right, Diamond. Bill, he has a 2-day also. All right, let me get into some training. I'll come back and answer some more questions. So let's talk about buyers, right? Who's got buyers? That's what it's all about. If you got buyers, you're going to win the game, okay? And that's ultimately what it's about. You can have all the deals in the world, but if you don't have buyers, you're dead in the water, right? So when we talk about buyers, we're very specific. There is what we call wholesale buyers. There's fix and flip buyers. There's tenant buyers. There's rental buyers, there's retail buyers, there's a whole list of them. But I need you to understand, if you're out there and you're trying to sell contracts, which is wholesaling, right? We don't sell properties as wholesalers, we sell contracts. We have purchase and sales agreements with the rights to assign it that we then sell those rights through an assignment agreement to an end buyer, a wholesale buyer. As a wholesaler, you're really wholesaling to 3 types of buyers, okay? Let's just be clear on this. You're either wholesaling to a retail buyer, which is someone that is really going to live in the property forever, or maybe not forever, but for the time being. They're okay with putting a little work in it. They're okay with painting and carpet. Some of the basic stuff, they're okay with that, which means you can get a higher assignment fee for that. The second buyer is a fix and flip type buyer. It is the buyers that are out there buying properties at a discount to fix them up and resell them. That's more or less what we call a cash buyer, right? The third type of buyer is our landlord buyer. Even though they could fall into the cash buyer category, it's still a specific type of property that they look for. So we really have 3 types of buyer pools in the wholesale business. Well, and we could go on, there's more, but these are the 3 we're going to talk about today. So the retail buyer is the buyer that, basically says, hey, I'm looking for a property that needs a little bit of work that I can get at a discount, which means that the property is worth $200,000 and you got it under contract for $160 or $170. That means the other buyers are out, but that retail buyer is not if it needs a little bit of work. Now, if this house needs, gutted and started over again, it's probably not their deal, right? They're like the handyman in the family, and that's what they're looking for. So those types of buyers are out there. Now, they're harder to find because there's not a track record, or there's not a trail to find them like there's a trail for cash buyers and landlord buyers. There's a trail. We can follow that trail. We can track them down and expose our deals to them and get them on our buyers list. Well, retail, it's a little different. So if we want that type, if we find a property that we can't get cheap enough, but there's still enough equity in it for, someone to be a handyman specialist, we're going to advertise it that way. We're going to advertise the property handyman special. We're not going to put in there like needs a major remodel. We're going to put handyman special, carpet and paint, ready to live. Looking for someone who's looking for a side project, on a first time home. That's the type of ads we're going to run. We're going to run those ads in the paper. We're going to put them out on Craigslist. We're going to acquire. They are a much harder buyer to find. Let me be very clear on that. Now, the second type of buyer pool inside of your wholesale model is your cash buyers, right? And the cash buyers are the ones that, as a wholesaler, will give you the hardest time. They will absolutely give you the hardest time, okay? Why is that? Because they need it at a discount. It's a risk factor. It's a huge risk factor. There's a lot of money that's going to go in it. I'll give you an example. I'm looking at a deal right now. It's going to take $200,000 to remodel this house. Do you think I'm going to be a little bit more cautious and more negotiable? I'm going to be in more of a negotiating mindset with the seller to get that price as low as possible, and I'm going to beat them up a little bit because why? I got $200,000 I got to put out into a remodel. You understand? So that's why the cash buyers will give you the hardest time, especially if it's a big remodel. But the big remodels are the ones that, the guys like me want because no one else wants them. They're scared of them. They're a little bit more afraid of them. So, I'm fine with them. I got the money to stick it out with them. So just know that. That's why they're going to negotiate you a little bit more. But the cash buyers, people always say, well, Zach, where do you find cash buyers? Where do you find cash buyers? Cash buyers are everywhere. I'll give you an example. If you've paid attention to any of the weeks we've been going through, there's a strategy in there called clustering. That clustering will tell you where the buyers are at. You need to go drive those neighborhoods. You need to see who's remodeling. You need to get out of your car and you need to go up there and try to meet whomever the investor is that bought that property and see if they're interested in other properties. Okay? That's number one for a cash buyer. Number two for a cash buyer, you can, if you don't have the money, listen guys, back when I started, back in the day, I had to walk uphill both ways, right? To school and back in the snow with my books in a belt. That's actually not a true story, but but when I first started, we didn't have all the technology that we have today. We just didn't have it. Okay? We just didn't have it. So what did I have to do to find cash buyers? I had to literally go down to the recorder's office and I had to ask Shirley down there if I could get the book of all the closings, and I would go over to a little desk and I would start flipping through all those books and I would look for properties that had been closed that had no lender attached to it. Which meant what? Joe, what does that mean?
It had no lender attached to it?
If a property got closed and there's no lender attached to that property, that means they closed it with what?
Cash.
Boom. Booyah. Cash. So that's how I had to do it, right? Nowadays, there's software out there, but like Diamond has recognized, they cost money. You have to pay money to buy these softwares. You almost had me there. You have to pay money to buy these softwares. People just don't build software and give them away for free. Even though I know the whole world wants everything for free, it doesn't work that way. Okay? So if you don't want to pay for convenience, speed of implementation, then you just got to go back to old school. You got to get up off your seat. You got to get in your car. You got to drive down to the recorder's office, and you got to pull all the records that are of properties that have been closed, and you got to start digging through this book, and it takes a while. I mean, it takes some time, but you'll start finding some that have been closed with no lenders attached to them. Now we have an address that we know got closed for cash. The beauty of that is I can do two things. I can mail that address, but if I still don't want to pay any money, I don't want to spend $1, then what do? I get in my car and I drive to that property and I try to find out if the owner of the property is there and is there a way for me to talk to them. Now, is that still going to cost money? Of course, you got gas, and what's the value of your time, right? So many people forget about that. What's the value of your time? What's the value of your time? That's what they forget about. So that's one way. Another way to find cash buyers, I'm giving out some love today, is you go down to your local auctions. Go down anytime that you hear of a public or a private auction being held in your market, you need to go to them. The public auctions are at your courthouse steps. They probably do them every day, or they're doing them 4 or 5 days a week. The private auctions are the ones held by like auction.com, all these little, auction companies. You have national ones and you have local ones. You got to dig them up in your market, get on their list, find out when they're having auctions and go down there. These are people. It's a little different with public than it is private. Let me explain why. The public auction, you're pretty much guaranteed the people there are cash buyers. Pretty much guaranteed, okay? Because they have to either fund it that day or they got 24 hours to fund. It's different by county, but they've got to have the money ready to go. Where the private auctions, like put on by auction.com and people like that, they give you actually 30 days to close on it. So a lot of times it's a hit or miss with the type of buyer you're going to get there, even though I think you should go to both of them because it's very important that you do that. That's another great place. The third avenue for you to find a cash buyer is at your RIA, Real Estate Investors Association meetings. You need to go there. You need to go there. You need to go there, and you need to start asking people who's buying cash, who's the buyers in the room. A lot of times, like at my RIA that I'm the president of, at the beginning of the meeting before we even start training, I always ask, is there anybody in here that needs help looking or needs something? If you're a wholesaler looking for buyers, if you're a buyer looking for wholesalers, I give them a minute to stand up and say what they're saying. And so, some people will stand up and say, hey, I'm a new wholesaler. I'm finding deals. I'm looking for cash buyers. All the cash buyers will raise their hand so that they can network with them. So it's a great, environment when you're in there and you're in there close. Okay. That's obviously free ways. Now, when you get into the paid ways, you're just going to do it much faster. I mean, it's just going to be super fast. You're going to use software. You're going to use technology. Any of our coaching students get access to our software platform where you click a button, you find your buyers, you click another button, you send the mailing out. It's all automated. They start calling you up. You build your buyers list, right? There's other platforms out there. One of my good friends that I do a lot of business with, Ross, he's with CI. Me and him been knowing each other for years. We're in masterminds together. I've watched him build his company. He helps my students and I help his students. One of the things, and these are the great relationships that we create out there, is that, he has students that need support and they need training. He sends them to us. Why would he send them to us? Because we're the #1 training company out there when it comes to getting people into the real estate business. And so, but he has a lot of platforms to help people do some really cool things. But he's missing the link of the personal touch, right? The hand holding, the one-on-one, the let's build your business together. So that's why we partner. And so that's the same thing that you guys are going to be out there doing in your networking. You're going to find people that specialize in a strategy that you don't. And then you're going to specialize in a strategy that they don't. And you're going to want to come together and collaborate and work together on that model, okay? So that's really that. Now, when you get into the paid ways of marketing, that's where the game changes, because you can just do it so much faster. I mean, it's literally like lightning speed to get. I can do more in an hour with technology than you could do all month going out it as a freeway. So it goes back to the time, right? How much time do you want to commit to it? So now the last one in this category is your cash or your landlord buyers. This is where you're finding deals that produce cash flow that you want to wholesale or sell that contract out to a landlord type buyer. Okay. Now, where do we find landlord buyers? Well, it's super easy, right? At least I say that. One of the greatest ways is calling property management companies. Their database is full of landlords. Hey, you got any landlords that want to buy some more properties that you can manage? Boom. I just helped you build a 200 list landlord database just by doing that. Another one is going to Go Section 8 site and finding properties in the area and finding out the owners, getting them on the phone. Another way is putting signs out in the neighborhood that they run and landlord in. Property need to sell, cash flow cow. Right? Get them reaching back out to you. Your RIAs have landlords there. You just got to start thinking outside the box, and you got to do it every day, guys. You got to do it every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. If you're not working your business every day, then what are you working? Right? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Hey, listen, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to roll this clip for you. I hope it gets you excited, because then I'm going to talk to you about something else. And when we come back, I'm also going to be talking to you about lease option tenant buyers and how do you find those for your business, right? Making some money today, guys. Watch this short clip.
I've been to another couple of workshops myself. I have to admit, Zack brings a lot more knowledge, information, and the experience that he brings into this workshop is phenomenal. It's life-changing.
This is actually my first training of anything in real estate, and I already feel like I have a step ahead of someone that would be starting new at another workshop. Just so informative. Any questions that anyone has, Zack is there to answer them. So, I've learned a ton, much more than I thought I would.
My favorite thing is probably the family atmosphere that they have here. Zack is very much a family guy. He talks about his family a lot and is very known among his coaches as well, just how inclusive he is of everybody.
It's been very exciting to meet a lot of people and also to see how powerful Zack's programs are. So if you're thinking about coming, this is a great place to get some of the bottom line best advice.
Not as much of a leap of faith when you see Zack and you see all the other people that have been through the same workshop and their success. It's a little more comforting seeing that, and it makes it a lot easier to make that leap.
It's been an eye-opening experience. I'm a skeptic. I walked in here a skeptic because I've been through these events before. To listen to them, and it's a different vibe here. You feel that Zack is the real deal. He has the background, where most of these so-called gurus are here to just throw product at you. His system's more hand-on. Thank you for the excitement. Thank you for revitalizing that in me.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you for caring.
Thanks, Zack. You're the man.
Great going, Zack. You're truly changing lives more than you actually know you are.
There you go, guys. That's what I've been telling you about. You don't want to miss our 3-day event. It's coming in Tampa. Look, I still got a handful of general admission tickets left. I got a handful of them. We will sell out of this event. We've sold out of every event that we've done. I still got a handful. Now, let me remind you, some of you have been asking questions about this. General admission is basically a free ticket. As long as you're one of our students, you put a seat deposit down. You go to the event for all 3 days. You call back to the office and tell them you went, and they give you the $97 back. That is why you shouldn't worry about the seat deposit. But it tells us that you're serious and that we're going to save you a seat, okay? That's our general admission. Now, I'll tell you this. I'll run out of these within the next 2 to 3 weeks, I guarantee you, is our gold and our silver VIP, okay? So we have our silver VIP tickets. This gives you access to front of the room, not the front, but front of the room. It also gives you access to the networking party. You get to be amongst all of us as the speakers. You get to hang out with us. You get to spend time with us. And you get to be in the front of the room. And there's some other cool stuff on there too. The student advisors can tell you all about it. But the gold is what you want. This is why we run out of these. I'm about to tell you why we run out of these, okay? The gold VIPs. This is, how much are the gold VIPs, Jill?
They
it's like $600 or $500.
For 2, it's $697. For 1, it's $597.
$597, $697 for 2. The Gold VIP puts you right up front with me. You get a swag bag. It's got all the stuff in it. It's got the USB drive for all the documents that we use during the event. You also get recordings from our event, our Freedom from Flipping event. You get the entire 3-day recording so that you can log in, you can go through everything. You can go back and rewatch it. But on top of that, you get more time with me. You get the networking party, and I think we changed it now. Is it just a dinner?
Yeah.
So you get the networking party on Friday night, and you get the dinner on Saturday night, okay? You also get a coaching call with me inside the golden ticket. So let's go over that again. The golden ticket is a coaching call with me, front row seating. Well, it depends on how many we have. It might be front and second row, but it's right up there. It's in front of VIP Silver. You get the recordings from the event. You get dinner with me, networking party with me, plus you get the swag bag so that you have all the documents and recording. Guys, that's the gold. I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to secure that seat before these run out, or the silvers, and then you'll be in general admission, you need to call my office, 707-247-4249. 4248. 707-247-4248. Pick up the phone, call a student advisor, tell them you want to get to the Tampa. You can ask anybody on this thread if they've ever been to one of my events. They will tell you to go to it. I promise you. That's how much confidence I have in what we deliver at our 3-day events. So before I get into the lease option, I'm going to answer a question on here from a gentleman by the name of Ryan. If he's still with us. If not, I'll still answer it. So Ryan was asking questions about a highly successful student of ours, Donna and Dave. He didn't mention their names, but I'll mention it. They were in the coaching program working directly with me. They were my coaching students. And his question is like a lot of people that are skeptical out there, how in the world can someone do $200,000 in 60 days? They also says, well, how in the world can someone find 75 deals when most of us are having a hard time finding 20 deals? Well, the answer is pretty clear. They got the right coach, okay? That's the clear, cutthroat answer to building success. Because here's why: if you're somewhat of a seasoned investor and you're having a hard time finding 20 deals a year, you're really not that seasoned. Let's be very honest, okay? You're relying on maybe an agent, maybe a couple other streams to give you some deals, but you're not really scaling the business. You're not taking it to the next level, and that's where a coach helps you. Donna and Dave were very intelligent people. They were already in the business a little bit. They had all the resources for me to help them go to that next level. And so one of the strategies we had was for them to stop buying onesies and twosie houses and to start buying blocks of houses. Start going down, building relationships with banks, going in, and we had one bank selling 20-something houses. We had another bank selling 30-something houses. We had another bank sell them 8 houses. So they were becoming that next level investor. They were separating themselves from the people that are, cherry picking the agents and the MLS and working real hard on direct mail. Even though we laid out an entire marketing aspect for it, the real goal with them was pushing them to the next level, just like some of you need to be pushed as well. So, Ryan, I hope that helps you. If not, buddy, what I can tell you is I'd love to get you on the phone with a student advisor. Maybe they can see where you are and what's realistic for you, because here's what I'll promise you. Not everybody out there is going to go make $200,000 in 60 days. Most people will make $200,000 in their first year. You understand? And even then, it's still a game changer for most people. So
they were amazing, though. I mean, they were machines when they were here, and
yeah, they actually came and spent the day with me in the office, and we built out an entire scalable business model for them and put all the pieces together. I mean, it was really, really, really good. So
it's a lot of scanning and a lot of FedExes.
Yes, it was. What else we got coming through, Joe?
All right. So we have a few different questions here.
Okay.
So
what's Manny say here?
Oh, I don't have one for Manny. It never.
Ryan. That's why you need Zack as a mentor.
I
love it.
Diamond, she said she just signed up for 2 RIAs.
Awesome.
She also had a question about the property management. She wants to know if the property management...
They will not send you a list. You will have to build a flyer of the property that you're trying to sell the contract on, submit it to them, and they will expose it to their buyers.
Yes. Toby says, I've been gone so long. Geez, where are we going?
Yeah, we're going for a ride, Toby. Jump on.
She says, trust me, Guts, it's so worth it. Steve says, you got to go. You got to go gold. It's worth it. It's the only expense is what it will cost you for not going.
Love it, Steve. Love it, love it, love it.
Donald, he says, I can't do a deal with you using comps period times 65%. I don't know why he thinks you do that.
Me?
Yeah.
You don't know me, man. I'm like against that. He said me?
Yeah, he said I can't do a deal with you using comps times 65%.
Oh, you mean he can't do a deal with me if that's how he's evaluating it? That's true because what week was that where we ran the numbers? Let's see here. Determining, negotiate, research, analyze property. It was week 11 and where was the other one at? Finding the right. I think it was week 7 and week 11. Running your numbers. Listen, I get it. People teach this whole ARV times 65% minus repairs or whatever that number is. I just don't believe in that. I think it's setting yourself up for failure. And as an investor, looking at wholesale deals from people who are trained that way, I'm always tearing those deals apart because they're just not always accurate. Yeah, you'll hit one or two that are good, but most of them aren't accurate enough. And so that's why I teach how you really run the numbers. ARV minus resale expenses, minus your rehab costs, minus your holding costs, minus your purchase fees, your closing fees when you buy it, minus your profit, create subtotals. From there, understand what your hedge factors are going to be. Then create what's called a MOP, max offer price, so that we know not to offer more than that. And if you're a wholesaler, then you deduct your wholesale fee off of the MOP, and then you get where your starting point should be, or your final point should be. You should always start less than that, though. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, great. All right. Sounds good to me.
I don't like your light though. I can't see you when you're staring at me and trying to.
I'm looking at your picture on the screen.
Oh, you are?
I feel like I'm talking to you when you're on the screen.
Nice. Yeah, no, everybody's gone a little bit quiet, so
that's okay. So here's what I want you to understand. When you move into like the tenant buyer type, we've talked about landlord buyers, we've talked about cash buyers, we've talked about retail buyers. You've also got what we known as tenant buyers as a creative real estate investor. And so tenant buyers are the ones that they're everywhere, guys. They're everywhere. They're the ones that we run advertisement that says your job's your credit. Why rent when you can own? That's who we're looking for. Those buyers are literally everywhere. You have to put the ads out there, though. You've got to get the ads in the paper, or if you want to do it free, you got to get it out on Craigslist. You got to get that coming into you. One of the things that we do at our real estate investing, our Freedom from Flipping event, our 3-day event, not our summit. Remember, the summit's at the end of the year. That is a whole nother event. That's how do you scale your business? How do you understand credit repair? How do you understand taxes? How do you understand, deferred taxation on investing capital? How do you understand, self-directed IRAs? How do you understand, asset protection and liability? How do you understand marketing at a whole different level? That's the summit, right? The Freedom from Flipping is going to help you get your business going. It's all about wholesaling and fix and flips, the strategies, the marketing, the segmentation. How do we do clustering? It's an amazing event. But in there, we teach a lot on these buyer types as well. And so I encourage you to get registered for that. But tenant buyers, get an ad on Craigslist. Call rental ads, okay? Here's a little sneaky trick I used to use back in the day. I would call rental ads, and if somebody was getting that property for rent, I would say, look, if they would say, well, I've already filled it, I would say, great, what do you do with all the list of people that called in to rent that you can't use anymore? They're like, well, nothing. I'm like, I would love to have that for my properties. And sometimes they'll share it with you. Sometimes they won't. But what I'm doing is I'm leveraging other people to build my tenant buyer list, okay? And so ad placement, newspaper placement, Craigslist ads, bandit signs up in the neighborhood in which the property is located in. If you get into the paid ways, you're going to do direct mail to the rental houses. Not the landlord's address, but to the rental house itself, and because that's where the renter is at, and you're going to put them a postcard or a letter that simply says, why are you renting when you could own? I have a property in the same neighborhood that you could get into home ownership. Your job's your credit. Call me today. They're already in the neighborhood. They don't want to rent when they can own something. If you just use just half of those things I shared with you, your tenant buyer deals would be a no-brainer. I mean, you would have a list of tenant buyers built up for your deals when you find them. It's one of the easiest ways to start making cash flow out the gate. It absolutely is. 100%. All right. What else we got, Joe?
All right. So Diamond Star, she's got a couple questions here. She says, speaking of comps, would you go by square foot or number of bed and bath?
Neither.
Okay. So she says,
when I talk about comps, there's two, and you guys got to pay attention to these videos I do. I feel like I repeat myself a lot. There's two comps that you're looking for. One's called affordability price range, and the other one's called the asset value, right? The affordability price range could be 100 to 175. The asset value, we're trying to determine, does it fit inside that affordability range? For example, if I have a property that's selling for, if I'm looking at comps in the area, there's a theory that says it needs to be of like kind. So when I say neither, Diamond, I don't mean that I don't look at them at all. I'm just saying it's a bigger picture that you have to look at. So when I start looking for comps, I'm looking for what's called like kind. Similar in square footage, beds, baths, ranch style, 2-story, those all make differences. Does one have a pool and one doesn't, right? Or has it been remodeled, or does it still look like the 80s, right? Those are things you got to think about when you're looking at comps. But once I get the comps in that area together, I'm going to determine what's called the average resale per square foot price. Average resale per square foot price. That number is multiplied by the square footage of the property I'm looking at, which creates asset value. The value of that asset is, if it's a 2,000 square foot house, and then the average is $100 a square foot, then that asset is actually valued at $200,000. But listen to me, that's what it's valued at. Does not mean that's what its affordability index falls into. Because how do we know what actual someone wants and will pay? It's the offer they make. So if you're looking at a neighborhood where the affordability index is 100 to 175 and your asset has got an asset value of 200,000, you're going to be hurting when you go to sell that property. So you have to really determine that. But let's say that asset, let's say it was a 1,500 square foot property and the asset value is 150,000. Well, it fits inside that window of the affordability range of that neighborhood. So now I can use that as an ARV. But let's go back to the other example. Let's say it was 200,000 and the affordability range in that neighborhood is 100 to 175. I'm not going to use 200. I'm going to use 175. That's what I'm going to use. Or maybe 180. I might push it up a little bit. But I'm not going to go to 200 just because no one's buying properties at that price range in that neighborhood. So you got to know those two values.
Okay, so Christy, she says, the end of the year, where are you having it?
It's going to be back in Tampa. We're going back to Tampa. So we're going to Tampa in, when are we going to Tampa? June, right?
Yes.
We're going to Tampa in June. Then we're going to come back to Tampa in December for the summit. Guys.
Weekend after Thanksgiving.
Listen, the summit is going to be a game changer. If you've been to my 3-day event and you fell in love with that, you need to be at my summit. It's like a 1-2 punch. You need to go to the 3-day to get your business going, and then you need to come to the summit to learn all the other things, like tax advantages, accounting advantages, credit repair advantages, top-notch marketing strategies, scalability. I'm going to be teaching on systems and processes and SOPs for the business. It's next level, and I'm telling you, you're going to fall in love with it.
So Roderick, he wants to know, could a brand new investor do those kind of numbers working directly with you in your coaching program in 6 months?
I don't know. I don't know. And the question is this. If you're asking me, can you do $200,000 in 60 days? I'm not going to guarantee that because I don't know where you are. I don't know what type of business you're already doing. But let's just say this. If you've never done a deal before, you have no network, you have no power team, you have no business model built out, you have no funding sources together, which we line those up for you in the coaching program anyways. But if you have nothing, I'm not going to guarantee you that you'd even come close to 200,000 in 60 days. What I can say is the possibility for you to do 200,000 plus in a year is highly likable, just because of the track record that we have with people. So you got to remember, your first goal should never be to chase the money in this business. Let me get real clear with you on this right now. I know so many of you come into this and you say, I want the money, I want the money, I want the money. The problem with that is you're not building the business. You're not building the business. You're not slowing down long enough to build a foundation that's going to take this business to the next level with you. You're too busy chasing money. And money is not going to be your win in this. It's the business that will be the win. So if you're coming into real estate investing with one concept, and that is, I want to make money as fast as possible and as much as above it, I want money, 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 money. Well, the reality is you're not going to make it. You're not. You might make some money, but you'll be chasing the money constantly because you didn't slow down enough to actually build a business that's sustainable. You got to remember something, guys. I built my business 16 years ago. I was in it in the rise, I was in it in the crash, and I'm in it again in the rise again. Why? Because I built the foundation to my business successfully so that it was solid as a rock, and the money just comes naturally. Once the business is in place, the money just comes because you got a business that's running without you in it. So I share that with you so that you don't get hung up on trying to make $1 million your first 60 days. And listen, I get it. There's some guys out there that'll promise you the world, right? They'll promise you rainbows and cupcakes and unicorns. But the reality is this is work, guys. This is roll up your sleeve, get to work, put your time in, make it happen, build a future for yourself, your family, your kids, and everybody around you. Make ripples in the world. Change some people's lives by the ability to do what others won't do. And that's to get up off that couch and go to work. That's where the game changes.
Christy says, woohoo, because it's in Tampa. Steve wants to know if that he can register for the summer yet.
Yes. We're starting to register for the summit now. And I'm telling you that. It starts now. And the reason it starts now is because the summit will fill out too. I mean, it will absolutely. We have not done any marketing for the summit yet. It's all been word of mouth. It's been through our student advisors. It's been me on my Instagram or our YouTube channel or Facebook. But we're already booking tickets out for the summit. So you definitely want to talk to somebody about that, Steve.
Angel says, what's the summit?
Oh, my goodness. It's already happening. Angel, you need to come to Tampa in December. Call the office.
Yes.
Talk to Carly. She'll tell you all about it.
Ryan, he says, how did they do the 200,000 in 60 days? And Diamond Star says they went to the banks that sold them the homes in bulk line.
Tell him, Diamond. Ryan's not listening. He must have had to take a potty break. Diamond was listening, though, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
That's awesome. All right, guys, listen. You got to go back. You got to pay attention. If you missed your answer, go back and listen. I answer as many of them as I can. One of the things I want to make sure you guys are paying attention to is you're sharing this message with other people. They need to hear the message, guys. We need to be in this together. We need to be doing this together. We need to be making ripples along the way. If I'm affecting you in your life, you need to pass that message on and allow it to affect somebody else. Do not miss tomorrow's show. Don't miss it. It's the last show with Kelly. She's coming back on to go through the rest of her credit repair. She's going to be talking about credit repair myths. She's going to be talking about knowing your legal rights when it comes to credit and what they're doing that they can't do, and they're doing it anyways, and how the rights are in your favor to get it fixed. Also, the endless possibilities once your credit is fixed. But one of the most powerful things she's going to talk about is really understanding your options. You really have 3 options when it comes to getting your credit where it needs to be, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow as well. Be here on the show, guys. Listen, I love you guys, love you to death, love you for being on here, being so supportive. Love all the comments. I love how you guys talk to each other and how you answer each other's questions. I think that's amazing. I think it's absolutely amazing. I like it when a student answers the question for the other student. I love that. I think that's a wonderful thing. So thanks for all the thumbs ups and the hearts. Remember, do me a favor, type in the comment section if you got some value out of this. Type "I'm with you, Zack." Just type it in there. I'm with you, Zack. I want you guys to be in this to win this with me. I want to turn you all into property specialists. That's my goal, is to turn you all into property specialists, right? I want you to be saying, I am a property specialist, okay? That's where I want you to go. Once I turn you into a property specialist, then I want to get you into a transactional engineer. I want to make you a transactional engineer, right? I love it, I love it, I love it. So guys, just let me know you're with me. Love all the hearts. Love all the thumbs up. Don't miss the show tomorrow. Kelly going back into the decoding of the credit mystery, I guess is the right way to say that, because it's such a mystery out there. So anyways, guys, don't forget to register for the Tampa 3-day Freedom from Flipping event. And if you're excited, register for both of them. Register for the Tampa event, register for the summit. If you've been to my 3-day event, register for the summit. I'm telling you, you want to be there. And if you've ever been to any of my events, you know you want to be there. This is going to be a game changer, guys. I've never done a summit before, and I'm about to do one. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right the first shot out. So be at the summit. Guys, this is Zack Childress and the lovely Jill on your Tuesday Real Estate Investing Talk Show. I'll see you tomorrow on the Dig Deeper Show. See you now. Bye.